friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to share with you my top 10 favorites at the moment. This is always changing. I feel like, you know, every time a new leaf comes out on a different plant, I'm like, ooh, you're my favorite now, and so on. So this is always changing. This is just my current 10 that I pulled. Some of them have new emergents that are really drawing me to them, and others are just good old favorites who will probably continue to be on my top 10 list. So the first one I wanted to share with you is one that does have a somewhat new leaf on it, and this is my gorgeous Anthurium regale luxurians. How beautiful is this one? I don't find this one super difficult to grow. It is extremely slow. I think I got this in, I want to say almost a year ago, and I think I've only grown about 3 leaves. So if you have this plant and it's faster in your collection, please tell me your secrets. But look at how gorgeous this is. I'm going to do a quick close-up. How beautiful. It is so dark. And the feeling on it, it is like nothing else. It is so, so, so pretty. It's got one ugly looking leaf there, but yeah, overall looking pretty good. I'm excited. This one is living in my tent actually. So I guess if anybody that knows me knows this, but when I first moved into this space, I didn't have these shelves. I had everything on the floor. So the back shop is about, I would say, 1,000 square feet, but it's got 25-foot ceilings. So initially, when I moved here, I had how many did I have? I had 2 5 feet by 10 feet tents and 1 10 feet by 10 feet tent, plus a few extra racks outside. And when I made the switch to these shelves, I went through all last winter with the shelves, kind of everything just out in the open. I don't use humidifiers in here, so really I was at the mercy of, you know, how humid it was outside. We went down to about 55–60% humidity, which isn't horrible, but this year I have really attained a lot of plants that I just didn't want to risk the lower humidity. So I bought a little tent for some of my favorite ones. It is tiny. It's only a 2 feet by 4 feet tent. So I'm kind of squishing as many in there for the winter that I can, but that one is living in there. The next one is also living in there. This is a new transition though, so it doesn't make a difference in the growth so far. This is kind of my preempt to winter coming. The humidity in here hasn't gone down horribly yet, as the heater hasn't kicked on too much yet, but we're about 70% in here at the moment. The tent, I can keep it up, you know, closer to 80. So my next plant here is, this is such a cute one. So this one here is the cutest little round boy ever. This is a Magnificum crossed red crystallinum. That is the mother plant, and then it's crossed with luxurians. And this was a gift from Anna last Christmas, and it was just a little itty bitty seedling. I think it was even smaller leaves than this, but this is the newest leaf that came out, and how cute. So this is the previous leaf. It wasn't super round, and then this one came out, and it's just so round. I'm like obsessed, absolutely obsessed. And it's got nice red petiole too. Oh, it's so cute. Does anybody else have this hybrid? This one, I believe it was sold from a company named Carnivero. I believe that they made this hybrid at their store or at their greenhouse. So let me know if anybody else has this one from them. It is super, super cute. Yeah, I'm just looking at the tag. So it says sorry, I was wrong. It's red crystallinum crossed magnificum crossed with luxurians. So same but different. Anyways, with this one, once again, red crystallinum magnificum crossed with luxurians. And I really hope it stays with this nice round. I find a lot of luxurian hybrids, you know, they end up looking pretty similar, but you know, these are both, I'm gonna put these side by side because these are both Lux hybrids that I think you can tell a difference, right? Like they're not super similar, but you can definitely see the Lux in it. But different, right? And so gorgeous. Ugh. Anybody who knows me knows I am a sucker for anything Lux hybrid. Throw Lux in there and I need it. All right, so let me put these guys down. The next one is one I've shared before, and I will probably just keep sharing it with you. It is my Anthurium Dark Phoenix. Now, you might say, what happened to your ear? And that'd be a good question. I think what happened is I had this on a top shelf and it was getting too close to the lights and the next shelf, and I believe it hit this as it was emerging and I didn't catch it in time, so unfortunately it's got uneven ears. But look at her. Do you remember when I got this plant from Alice? I believe all the smaller leaves that it came with have gone, but here's one of the first ones. And then we went up to this one. Oh no, what did we do? I can't even see anymore. I believe the first one's this guy. Then we went here. Then we went here. Then we had a good size jump there. I think this one was grown while I was on vacation. And then this one. So we are getting bigger. This is a plant I am super excited to have in my collection, and I can't wait for it to get bigger so I can make some crosses with this one. You know, there's a lot of Dark Phoenix now being sold as, you know, Dark Phoenix selves, which there's so much variation in breeding Anthuriums that, you know, you don't always get them looking like this. So I was extremely excited to be able to add this one to my collection. So once again, this beauty with a sad little ear here is my Anthurium Dark Phoenix. In the next one I'm going to share with you, we will just do my only non-Anthurium, I think, on this list. Yeah, the only non-Anthurium. So this is a plant that it's in a massive pot. So give me a second here. This is my Alocasia Friedeck. So I'm probably gonna have to move back a little bit to share it with you. This is a plant that I really struggled with trying to grow for a long time. I don't know what it was, but I just couldn't grow it. I mean, Alocasias can be a bit difficult, I find. Charmaine and Alice told me how easy they are, and I just couldn't do it. So I was actually gifted. It was actually a funny story. I had basically given up. I'm gonna pop them right here while I tell you the story. I had essentially given up on this plant. I thought, nope, not doing it anymore. It's too much heartbreak. I love this plant so much, but it doesn't love me. And I had all but given up. Charmaine even said, hey, I have another, you know, little baby corm that's showing nice variegation. Do you want it? And this was around Christmas last year. And I was like, no, don't even bring it here. I don't want it anymore. I'm just gonna kill it. Like, I'm just gonna kill it, or it's gonna go white, and I just don't even want it. Well, I actually ended up getting given one from somebody else for Christmas, and this is it. So it's funny how I kind of said, no, I'm not trying it again. And it was almost forced on me. And I'm so happy that it was, because she is beautiful. Now, I have not gone corm hunting in this pot because I just recently repot it actually into this big pot because, and look at all those roots in there. Hopefully you can see. It was drying out so fast when I went away on vacation in August, and when I came back I repot it because it was just drying out so fast, and I didn't want it to dry out because I knew that that would cause issues. So when I repot this plant, I don't go corm hunting. I literally pluck it out of its old pot, pop it into a new one, and I don't mess with the roots because I'm scared. I'm scared that it's just all of a sudden gonna tank. It will probably one day. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. There's probably so many corms in here, but I'm scared. So I'm gonna leave her be. She's enjoying it. I keep it under a nice bright light. Now it's in a nice big pot. I don't have to water it every day basically. But yeah, so this is my Anthurium. No, not an Anthurium. This is my Alocasia Friedeck. The next one is one that I actually got from my friend in Brazil. There's actually two on here that came from my friend in Brazil, and at the time when I got them, they were just sent to me as an SP Brazil. We didn't really know much about what they were. I've since seen them being posted with some names. So this one here is my Anthurium colemanii. How cool is this? So when this first came in, I went, oh, that kind of looks like a peltigerum. Do you see pelty vibes on this one? And if you've ever owned a peltigerum, you know that they are not the easiest to root. They barely grow. If you have a different experience than me, please let me know. But in my experience, they are extremely hard to root. They're very slow growers, if they even grow. You know, it's just not a plant that's like super rewarding for me to grow or want to have in my collection. But so when this came in, I was like, oh, I hope it's not like a peltigerum because it's gonna be bad. Well, I can tell you it is not, because this rooted so easily. Can you see all those roots in there? So easily. It's been super easy to care for. It's grown this leaf since it got here. And look at this cool little, I don't know if you can see, it's got like a little loop in its petiole. Super cute. I don't think they always do that, but this one did, and it's cute. So yeah, I am loving this one. It's totally giving me alien vibes, and it doesn't act like a peltigerum, so I love it even more. If you can get one of these, you should get one. They're super cool. Anthurium colemanii. I'll show you the other one I got from Brazil. This one, when I first got it, it was giving me, do you know, has anybody ever had an Ularium Don Burnsii? I'll put a little picture up here. When it first came in, I was like, oh, this is giving me those kind of vibes, but it's an Anthurium. So this one is an Anthurium marcusianum. Look how cute this is. So one thing about both of these plants is the petioles are like 5,000 feet long. So if you hate long petiole plants, maybe this one's not for you. But this, look at this shape. How stinking cute. And it's growing a new leaf for me right now. Yeah, so this one, same thing. It's been super easy to care for. So far, so good. I love the shape of this plant. And it's super velvet. Love the texture. It's been easy grower for me. I have both of them in like a tree fern soil mix, or tree fern aroid mix. But yeah, this is another one, if you can get your hands on it, I highly recommend. They're super cute. So what I've kind of done to like style the shelf that they're on is because they have like 50-foot petioles, I'm exaggerating, but they're long. I have just kind of been styling it so that they're kind of at the back, and then I put shorter things at the bottom, and then they kind of just poke their heads out and fill in the space that way. So But again, if you don't like a plant with super long petioles and that kind of growth pattern, maybe not for you. But if you love this leaf shape and a super nice velvety one, this is the one for you. And I actually may have a few of these ones available in the next little bit, maybe. Okay, next one is just a good old classic, but I am just loving this one right now. This is one of my Anthurium besier afts. I mean, does it get any better? Look at how beautiful that looks. She's gorgeous. So I think I got this one in early summer, and then it grew this leaf for me here. Hopefully you can see the red on the back too. Look at how pretty it is. I have always loved this plant, but I found when I first got them like 2 years ago, I don't know if I just got a bad batch or what, but they were not easy to grow. Like, they were a pain in the butt. I have this one in an aroid mix. My trick to these guys is do not let them dry out. If you let this plant dry out at all, it's not happy. But I've been able to maintain them pretty nicely, just making sure it stays wet. Not wet, but doesn't dry out. So yeah, once again, this one is my beautiful Anthurium besier af. Okay, I've got 3 left. One is actually another one that I got from Brazil. I still don't know what this plant is. This one I got before the previous 2. So I've had it here growing for a little bit. Still have no idea what this plant is, but it's stunning. Let me show you. Look at this guy. How beautiful is it? I have it in a pot here so the water doesn't go everywhere, but look at how beautiful this leaf is. This is an emergent leaf, so it hasn't hardened off fully yet. These are the older leaves on the plant. But look at that emergent. It's so coppery and beautiful. Anybody have any guesses what this might be? So this one came from Brazil. It's just an SP Brazil at this point. But it is so stinking beautiful. It's kind of like, not super velvety. Hope that's coming across on the camera. It is velvet, but like a matte velvet, if that makes sense. So once again, this one is my Brazil SP. All right, the next plant is one of my Anthurium papalinum RA5 cross self. And this plant has seen better days. A lot of my plants this summer got spider mites and this one was really hit hard with it. It did put out this leaf since I got the spider mites under control, and it is looking better. But she's seen better days. This one is one of 2 of my RA5s. I did keep 2 of them. They're very different plants, but unfortunately the other one was hit with spider mites even harder than this one, is not in the best shape. So I thought I would just show this one to you. It is starting to flower, which is exciting. So we can use these in some hybrids of something down the road. Still a little immature for this one to be a mother, but I will store the pollen and use it for something, hopefully in the near future. So yeah, once again, this one here is my Anthurium papalinum RA5 cross self. And the last one is a big one. Well, it's in a heavy pot. It's not a big plant, but it's in a heavy pot. This one is my Anthurium pluton, and this is a space hijau hybrid. You might have seen me probably unbox these at one point, but it has grown a lot this year. And look at how dark these leaves are. It is just stunning. Like, the pillowiness of it is absolutely so stunning. The plant is so dark. Look at that emergent. I can't wait for this thing to start flowering so I can use it in the breeding program. It hasn't, sorry, had to pull that. It hasn't flowered for me yet. Look at all these spickle packs on here. There's like 4 of them because I'm terrified of spider mites again. Yeah, it hasn't flowered for me yet, but it is quite mature, so hopefully it will soon. Oh, she's so pretty, guys. Like, this is probably my #1 favorite right now. Not gonna lie. And we don't like to call favorites around here, but oh my God. Look at her. Like, it's so stunning. Okay, and she's also heavy. Actually, before I go, I'm gonna show you. So the way that I have this one set up, this is kind of what I'm loving right now. So when I repot this, excuse me, I did a really good layer, which I'm gonna try not to get wet, but I did a really good layer of leca at the bottom. So I have about leca to here. And then the rest of it is my aeroid mix. And essentially what this is doing now is it's kind of semi-hydro. Look at all those nice juicy roots in there, and the roots are nice coming all the way down to the bottom. There's none coming out the bottom yet, but what I do is I just leave a little bit of water, gunky, but I leave a little bit of water at the bottom. I don't worry about it too much when there's water at the bottom because I know there's that leca layer. Like if this was all just aeroid mix, I probably wouldn't want it sitting in water for too long. But because I have that leca layer, it seems to keep a nice separation from keeping the aeroid mix too wet, and the plant seems to really love it. So that's kind of been my setup for a lot of them lately. I'm really finding that they are enjoying being a little bit more consistently wet. I keep saying wet, but not wet, moist. Like this one, I kind of have it set up similar. So I've got some leca at the bottom here, which kind of just has a little bit of water, and then you can see there's some roots at the bottom, and it's just sitting on this. So it's just kind of giving it a little bit of water constantly. I will let this kind of dry out and then water it again. Now your aeroid mix in here will probably dry out before your reservoir, so keep that in mind. But this is just something I've been doing and it seems to be working. The thing I love about this hobby is, you know, you can always try new things, right? See what works in your conditions, try out if one thing's not working for one plant, try something different. You know, there's no cookie cutter, this is how you gotta do it. I love to try different things and what works, and you know, you'll probably see over different videos, I'll be like, oh, I'm doing this now, or oh, I'm doing that now. I'm random, like I put a plant in leca the other day. Why did I do that? I don't know. Just wanted to try it out. I want to see who does well, where, and does it work, does it not work? Obviously there are some plants that I'm like, I can't risk it experimenting with, but others I just try, because how else are you gonna learn, right? I do think that I personally learn the best by just trying things, trying it out. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You go back to what you know, but you'll never know until you try it out. Anyways, I'm going on a tangent here, so I'm gonna end the video here. Shorter one for you guys. It's my first one back, so gotta get used to being behind the camera again. Anyways, it's so great to be back with you. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.